Dodo na ne tena ka mu kwantin akotonyo mabegu ye shop mu se ubenya ni nyina ofako enno so ya asem foforo owo so to mfa kosi kaswa ne mpatamu anasa achimota lapa se kosi nsawam. Jimmy Dale is your one-stop shop distribution for wholesale and retailers. Safa drinks, insio, enyane, anasa adebia wo pebia. So koton ko adia ene bebia wo se wutumwa eye Jimmy Dale. You can locate Jimmy Dale Ventures at Jiga Junction inside Soto, or call us now on 0208-920-996. Jimmy Dale Ventures, the official sponsor for Sammy Flex TV. Green Select Glucometer from Costless Ventures. Safidi kitwaya etimimpo show botomi ebwa mahunu sugar level abribia. Wana wo diabetes anayari hodwa emma sugar level. Esote wo brano no. Safidi ebe bon kaye baby bia wo bia no wada wonso akohu doctor antem na wo dry bitimi ma blood sugar no aye pepepe. With Green Select blood glucose monitoring system, you get your test results in 5 seconds. And you 5 seconds per now results are ready. And it's suitable for persons of all age. Nane boso die eta form pebudin hu yaw. Sa upe bako anasa upe so tukoton. Call Costless Ventures now on 0205-915-315. Or Green Select Glucometer. The best. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
And Adam Mesa Chatomesh right here. Adam, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What has been the most difficult day in your life as a journalist? Because of what happened to Caleb Kuda, the City FM guy, I'm asking you, let's share ideas. In your profession as a journalist, how many years of practice?
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years. Okay. What has been your most difficult day as a journalist?
I think I have had a similar encounter, in what Caleb suffered in the hands of, but mine wasn't in the hands of the security, but it was in the hands of other people. During this case, Nayeli Ametepe's case.
Yeah.
There was some friends of hers who were brought to court. That was around 2016, where they were pursuing a certain abatement of the matter, so an abatement leg. So some friends were brought to court to be prosecuted, and after the case, I decided to take a shot with. I had a camera. That was my last time I used camera. And Charlie, after everything I was going, Charlie, some macho men. What were you doing? I said, I'm not doing anything. Said, bring the camera. And it was in view of a policeman, security at the court were there. Massa, the way they handle me, all my trousers, Charlie, it became scared.
Really?
It was out. Maybe it was a hot story.
Okay, let me see.
It was a very hot story.
Which year was this?
It was around 2016 or so.
2016. It attacked you. Why you kept the camera in your trousers?
No. I needed to put it in my pocket.
Okay.
I because normally when they bring people to court like this, we normally you get court photos. So it's not anything new, but they weren't happy. Definitely, they will not be happy to see you. And one funny thing is, when the thing went to court, one of their lawyers was a former police prosecutor, and now they had to. I was in there at the Accra Police,
the Ministry Police
Station. And the man came in. Charlie, the way they spoke, Charlie, it was like the case died. The other police who was the main witness in the matter, Charlie, they said he's going on, he's on a training, then Charlie,
and that was the end of the story.
Master, it wasn't easy. Some of these things, it puts fear in you if you are not a strong journalist. So what I changed my modus operandi at the court because I used to report from court for time. So I had to get a phone where I had something behind where I used to take shots. So I pretend
like you're making a call.
I'm making a call. Then because you need to get some of this.
I'm not sure you take these photos or videos in the courtroom.
No, not in the courtroom. You take it outside.
Okay. And even with that, you still have to do it outside.
Yes. It's not easy. You know, at times that's one of the challenges people do not know journalists go through to bring them the stories they are happy about. You understand? Because some of these things, you'll be there and you think we go through it's just a simple process to get you the news. At times we have to risk our lives to tell the story for you to understand what is actually happening. So
you reported the case to the police on the day?
Yeah, the case was reported to police,
but nothing came out of it.
You see, it got to a point even my family didn't want to pursue, you know, because the people like the case was against. They were even scared that maybe when it gets to a certain point,
they might even come for you.
Yes. Because of how they attacked me, I remember like some days or weeks after the thing, when I'm walking and I hear like a voice of a man behind me, I get scared. Like, and that time I used to stay at Medina Estate, and I had to start wearing caps and
just to hide your identity.
You feel the fear. And that even will not, at times it makes it difficult for you to push it for so it's Caleb, he said his father called him that he put the family first. You see, so when it happened like that, you go into your inner self and you look at your life and the career, which one you have to put first. And when care is not taken, you are not guided by certain experienced people, it's like it can kill the fire in you, and it will not make you go to that extent. Regardless of what journalists do, you may like it or not like it, it get to certain point that you need the journalist. You just want the journalist to bring up a certain matter so that it will inure to your benefit.
Have entertainment journalists been free from some of these attacks here and there?
Oh, I'm not sure, because at times some of the artists even become like attack.
Because almost all the attacks on journalists in Ghana, it has never. Well, maybe I'm yet to hear one on entertainment journalist proper. Oftentimes, the one that come out for discussion, it has been the political journalist all the time. I don't know if you know of any story of an entertainment journalist who was attacked on an entertainment front. So far, I've not heard any yet.
This man, Sammy K.
Sammy K. The Asamoah Jan. Was it Asamoah Jan saga?
Something like that.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember Sammy K's. But Sammy K's, well.
Assault to assault. You see, it's not the best. You know, if you think maybe someone has done something to you and you think it's not in the best interest, there are the laws there. The laws are there. You understand? So it seems you have been a victim before.
No, I've not been a victim before. Jata is just reminding me about something that happened on the day the VGMA gun pulling saga, where I was in the midst also trying to record something, and Stoneboy's team, someone hit my phone. In fact, Stoneboy hit my phone. I'm sure that was what Jata, but that I wouldn't consider that as an attack. I'm talking about physical attack where you have been manhandled.
It's not easy, Masa. It's not easy.
That hitting of the phone was aimed at your cheek, and it found your phone.
It was the phone because he wanted me to stop the recording. I'm sure that was what he wanted to communicate to me. Okay, so Adam, let me move on to Stephen. Let me also ask him about attacks on journalists. Maybe we could use the Caleb example as a case study so far, which is new in the system.
Yeah, journalism itself, it's not a pleasant. It's a job that is very important. But journalism, if it goes against you, is very hurtful. and if it goes for you too, it's very sweet. So as a journalist, as who say Jumano, they be obedi for, and as a they be no enemies, so be friends and so, because wako kobi once asema ba wako ka. You are looking at the greater interest of the nation, but nation is so be obi na run it. Nipa no so ayene da obe take action. You understand? So journalists are always in the, and it's not just here in Ghana. It happens everywhere. I mean, there are even places that journalists vanish.
Yeah.
So we put the chain. You say
like the Turkish.
Yeah. This the Khashoggi, the Khashoggi case. Yeah, Chuchano say nam. You understand? Yes, yeah, Chuchano. He was killed, and on my investigation, who say you know, a Saudi prince that ordered for that to happen. So and it's happening even in Egypt. There's a journalist, not that suit them, a CNN journalist.
Yeah, I remember that story.
It was normally who did this. Yachino. That's what they were saying. So Omojumano is quite a dangerous and risky job because Oko Kombuma Sembina Uncle Ye ultimately losing a livelihood. For instance, if you look at a case like Ameswale, Ameswale case here, among for a Shana Yen be maybe a Dawson, Mejidi, because Mr. Bimbo Yaya Honorable in Japan, but a young one why all my investigation Tiano Yantechi, look at judges here, almost a movie. I say judges never crash in so what if say? You understand where I'm coming from. So sometimes who case now there, but maybe a work but obi benya ho repercussions. Now repercussions they benya ni parents. One thing we na say or you just say obi take action na to put you back. We are getting to a point where I think people should understand that almost and they need to speak up. Now enye kama just that I will also want to entreat our journalists say they should also sometimes consider the areas they are treading, you know,
and the feelings of the others. Sometimes workers will consider and also be one won't cancel no, but journalists should also be circumspect in their reportage. Sometimes this is not against Ghanaian journalists, but assembly be a bar. Assembly be who's a journalist no just one side other side anchor. For instance, I had a case in 2015 when I was picked up by the national security. What was your crime?
It was about election, University of Ghana election software. We will fear my chan and national Rambo style. The Land Cruisers bear 6 guns and if you don't stop your dog, we will shoot him. No, and now my wife.
Oh, I see him.
I was the MPP candidate.
And what's happening? You know, I don't have a problem with the arrest because they almost yomujuma. I didn't argue with them. Ebia come argument and Ebia mentioned so trouble coming home. But they didn't hit me. They didn't do anything to me. But case in the course of I was with the national security when a news went on one of the newspapers. The journalist Troy that according to anonymous sources from the BNI, I have confessed when I haven't confessed to anything. And my lawyers came to my father. My lawyers went to the national security. What's going on? Did anybody say that he has? No, they don't even know where that story is coming from. So you see, sometimes the being circumspect with your reportage. Okay, journalists we wait me at and I know a lot of people have been destroyed because somebody was not circumspect in his or her own reportage. Sometimes we become too emotional as journalists. As you are in a hurry to report something without considering, can I do another background check to find out? Because sometimes the matter is not how it seems. Other side now, this person might also have another point. So are we reporting truth or we are reporting facts? Because there's a difference. There's a difference. And so me saying so I will take the person on. Maybe I miss you. So
what did you do to him?
Nothing. I didn't do anything. What will I do? Because at the time the case now it was with the certain government. So they
couldn't win.
You get it? Yeah. And Caleb Kuda say it is with a certain government, and anytime Ghana had for national security but on my so national security, okay, even rights. Human rights.
I tend to it because of maybe how the architecture is and how all the things they've done. That make people take them.
And it happens everywhere. We shouldn't take it again happen and national security for you to trust something ideas. Look, America, who is suspect of terrorism, we are. Yeah, forward. Yeah, don't call your friends Guantanamo Bay. They will squeeze even lies out of you as truth. Because they suspect that you are a terrorist, and there are so many people who are at Guantanamo Bay. So countries don't joke with national security. So for you to even go to national security to go and film, and it is something. Caleb is my friend. I know him personally from University of Ghana. And I sometimes there are certain places at Jazeera I say careful kakra because one year you fighting with the national security. Imagine. You get it. I'm not saying what they did to him was good. It wasn't good. I mean, it's not good to beat one human being. I've been through that before. I don't want anybody to go through that kind of. Look, I don't even want my worst enemy to be imprisoned, to be in cell for one day. Not even my worst enemy, because it takes your freedom. It makes you feel like you are less of a human being. My worst enemy, I will not wish prison, even a police cell for that person. So what happened to Caleb, I'm not cool with it. However, we should also be careful the things we report, whether we are truly for the national interest or not.
See, Yagre, have you also been affected by journalist work before? You are an artist, so let me take it from that point of view. Maybe a journalist wrote something about you and it affected you one way or the other?
Yeah, but I wouldn't really like to go there.
Hey, why? How big was that issue?
Well, maybe big in the sense of where I am coming from or where I'm standing for. Whoever hasn't heard it before might not be that kind of news that we would like to know. But I think with my brother Caleb, the job itself, I think said before, I wouldn't even say 50-50. And for where he had to be and to film, I know said before, no about me a post, there's something in him that told him, say, Joe, I did we be a bit me as you. And if like nothing happened and Timemo for me now so many na still I enjoy now, he's more like a hero and Kekobuano. Into San Kwambuano, the same way he has to also sit down and watch what he partake in getting him to where he is now. And yes, I heard say be a national security, be somewhere at the end of the day. But to me, I think say I can't say a debate to me at nipa or nipa and organizations be with things that they do because journalism mobile entertainment no more any limit. But ultimately say call politics more limit or no. And it's a different thing being a journalist for the entertainment sector, and it's a different thing on the politics side. So sometimes, I feel someone was our sector, 50-50, and they know themselves. So, to me, I wish
you mean they know that some days it could happen to them?
It could happen to them because it will be one seminar. I'm like many artists, baby now me can't be before artists be one. And artists, people that really didn't like him started hitting me up and giving me some informations about him. And just like 2-3 informations be by, I sat down and realized, hey, the day we call out, I can even die. It's not about so artists are not like as I said, me disaster me nimpopi. Nipa no so mam information no. Who person obeka but who say me nipa no problem no. Oh mam information na me fa and I was smart to think and know say yo I won't fight these people's fight for them.
That was smart.
Yeah. And you take me on that time. I'll still be in the same position as Caleb is right now. So I think say I don't wish him where he is, but where he is also has to teach so people can understand something.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, great. Thanks to Mr. Stephen Forson and to Adam Mensah Chatterman as well. So I have gotten the story that is somewhere Monday, 8th December 2014, where Nayele Coke saga mob attacks photojournalist in court. So the photojournalist here is our own Adam Mensah Chatterman. But maybe he's learned from it, so he's not going to commit such errors anymore. That is what you should know. You guys should not commit such errors anymore. Now, Kobiche is also telling me about his slap, where he was also slapped by Awukufutu in Takrade. Hey, Charlie, people have cases. So I have also received a publication of Stephen Forson's saga, which says election rigging at University of Ghana. Electronic voting software was manipulated. Developer confesses to the BNI. Wow. Meanwhile, you had not confessed anything,
and they didn't prosecute any case. So in which jurisdiction will a criminal confess and then they will not prosecute? You understand? So sometimes we should just, but unfortunately, our people will not dig deeper. They will not do critical analysis of any case. They will just take it. And don't forget, you are slandering somebody's name. Forever, this story will be there. Forever, this story will be on the internet. It will be somewhere. So this is what makes some people act in a certain way. My children will come and see this. I will have to explain to them. Do you understand?
And do you know that sometimes even some businesses, before they deal with you, they do background search of you. Some of the stories
that has come up in businesses before.
Good.
It has come up. It has come up before. So you see, sometimes as journalists, they feel like, oh, let me just do this story. But it affects lives. It affects livelihoods. It affects generations yet unborn. So don't be surprised that somebody would like to take an action which may also affect lives or generations yet unborn. You understand, Ransom? Journalism is a serious business. In other jurisdictions, when you go, okay, the people who are journalists, when we were growing up, everybody wanted to be on radio, everybody wanted to be on TV because we saw them as whatever thing journalists say is true. Like my mother would tell, oh, me too, radio. So amidst all this fake news happening around now, but still people believe whatever thing they see on radio, even the internet, they believe that it's true. Somebody goes to research and I can go to Wikipedia and type something about Sammy Flex and put it there. And because Jata will go and read it, he'll believe it because it's coming from Wikipedia. Meanwhile, I wrote it without let me just worry this person. What we are doing to ourselves, we don't know. It will come back to come and hunt us tomorrow. Which is how that's how the white
system has been.
So we should be careful.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Adam, you want to add something?
Yeah, we have an objective to the truth that we are to be guided by that, and at times there is a saying that we says the truth hurts. So at times you will tell the truth and people will be hurt and they will come and hunt you. You see, we should be guided by some of the ways we attack them, because when journalism goes off, journalists decide to not point out the ills in society, all of us will be beneficiary, in quotes, of the wrongs. We will all suffer the ills of the society. So we need to encourage journalists to be fearless and bold, because in that doing,
but I'm not sure no one is telling them to not to do their work. But like Forson said, whatever information you are putting out at a time, how did you do your checks?
That's why I said
and
we
the
have
balance,
an objective to the truth. So it is to that one is to the journalist. So always we must tell the truth at all the time, and we should know that we have a responsibility to our citizens.
And how do you know the truth? I'm coming. How do you know the truth?
That is why we say so in journalism we say cross check, double cross check. So you don't just cross-check, but you do a double check. So you, the journalist, you've been taught how to cross-check. You've been told how to fish for information. So you need to apply those elements in journalism at play, because one of the things we should always be protecting as journalists is our integrity. Because if you lose your integrity as journalists, you need to quit the profession. Because whatever you say will not hold water. So integrity is key. So your journalist should be minded by it, your integrity.
Our challenge has been the fact that journalists are always in need. As in, they are not taken care of well. So if I have an agenda and I cannot push the agenda myself, I will just employ the services of a journalist to push that agenda for me.
Exactly. And I've seen that
as much as that journalist has been given something to push, that is where they ignore whatever feeling or thinking the other person might have.
Exactly. But you see, in other jurisdictions, when you watch the BBC and the CNN, Al Jazeera, when they are reporting something, they report it the way they are supposed to report it. Like, according to Sammy Flex says that this. But our checks with this person also says this. Then they leave it to the listener to judge. But Ghana here, before they present the news to you, they've judged it.
Oh, that is not always the truth. Just recently,
not always the truth, but sometimes.
Just recently in UK, this man, when the Piers Morgan. When the Queen
the Queen issue happened,
he took it so personal to the point that
he had to be.
That's why he was fired.
Yes, you see, so the
did he resign or he was fired?
He was forced to. I mean, a man of his stature, he will not be fired like fired, but he will be asked to resign.
The ills go on everywhere. But the truth of the matter is, in certain jurisdictions, I've had training in broadcast journalism in Russia, State Media House, Russia Today. And what I realized was that in every jurisdiction, like Europe, there are wrong, bad journalism. But what happens is that there are checks. When there was an accident, or maybe someone dies on the floor, and you even show the face, and your media house is reported, you will be dealt with. The checks are there. So there have been cases they are reporting big media houses to this organization. I'll tell you the name. And they ensure that they crack the whip. They find them, they do this. So when maybe an accident has happened and people on the floor, they will not go show the face or the blood. But here, we know the code of ethics is there, but some people will do it, bring the cops, and they will not be punished. But the only the difference is that in certain jurisdictions, the whip is cracked on maybe some of this yellow journalism and bad practices. So we need the checks and balances, and that will be a very strong journalism institution like the GJO, which some are pushing for a unionization so that they can have power to act, so that at the end of the day there can be some sanity in the practice, so that is the most important. Because in every jurisdiction there are bad journalists, but what makes the bad lesser is because of cracking the whips. So that is what we need, institutional checks, which can help. And even at times, the media house itself should be able to establish those whips and checks to be able to check their journalists, to minimize the wrongs or the errors. Because regardless of everything, to err is human. We may commit mistakes, but it shouldn't be intentional. So we have some way to go.
It's serious. I say someone wrote a whole book about me. Okay. A whole book
another journalist
about me. Yes. And he didn't ask me anything. Like, Mr. Foster, what are your views on this? Like, I'm writing a book about Sammy Flex work, and I didn't ask me anything. By the time I realized the book was out, it was being launched. You were not even invited to the launch.
Something about me?
Yes. You see, that's how how do you call it? That's how notorious some of our journalists sometimes think they are so powerful that they can. Everybody wants to wield the power they think they have. So this is what I have. That's why national security will also think that they have so much power they can come and beat you. That's like a police thing. I have power. I will detain you. I hate you. My friend is a policeman. You see that kind of impunity that people wield their power with in this country without any form of checks and balances that we are talking about. That's what I think we should work on, to make sure that everybody's power ends somewhere and knows how to wield a certain amount of power that has been given. Look, some of you can decide to say that I don't like them. Then bedtime radio, so I will use my radio to get back at them, and nobody will do anything.
First, do you know, before I ask any guest a question, sometimes I look at their faces, I look at their moods, I look at their emotions, and I stop. Yesterday when I hosted Kwamina and there were so many questions I wanted to ask him about the death of his father.
I noticed.
But then I realized I asked one.
He was almost crying.
I asked one, I checked his demeanor. I asked you, I checked his demeanor and said, okay, let me be positive. No, I could have asked more because I wanted to ask him, how did the accident happen? What car? Where? But I knew that if I had gone into those details,
I also noticed because I was watching him this way, and when I felt it was getting to him somewhere, immediately you stopped. I said, wow, this is journalism. No, you understand it.
There are sometimes so many people, they sit before me.
Some people don't mind.
I have some serious questions to ask them. I look at their demeanor and I stop.
Some people don't mind.
So many times.
Their whole aim is to trend, to create news.
That is also
that's how somebody will provide somebody a job and then put camera on the person and show the whole world that I've gotten a job for this person.
Yes.
You understand?
Another problem they are having.
It is getting too bad. It's getting too bad. If we don't check some of these things, we will lose the whole essence of journalism and reporting truths and facts to the people. Right now, all our media houses, have been tagged. This station is that party, this station is for that party, this one is for that one, this one is for that one. This journalist is pro and this journalist is pro MPP. It shouldn't be so. I know Caleb Kuda, a very astute, young, uprising journalist whom I know will do exploits. You understand? And when he was in Lagos, he was a star. A star journalist. And for this to happen to me, I think it's unfortunate. Maybe he had good intentions of he wants to report the thing, but that youthful exuberance, he wanted to report the thing. But if you are the fire, I'm fireman. But sorry to him anyway for.
Anyways, all right. So a little bit of education here on Showbiz Agenda. That is what we do over here. We give you education, we give you entertainment, and at the same time, we also give you information.